The Overdrive. This is Ginger.
Hi, this is Sadie.
Hi, Sadie. How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited for this interview. I've been excited ever since I learned you were going to be on Winter Jam so I could talk to you.
Aw, that's so sweet. Well, I'm excited too.
Well, it only pales in comparison to my son's excitement. My son has been an incredible Duck Dynasty fan from the first season, and has everything from the shirts to the DVDs, and so he wanted to say hi. He couldn't wait to say hi. So this is my son, Alex.
Hey, Sadie, how you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Not too bad. It's been a little bit of a crazy morning, but it's been nice. A little bit on the cold side, but congrats on your sister's wedding.
Oh, thank you. It was so fun. It's really nice to talk to you. It's cold here too. I guess it's just cold everywhere right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we got snow, but you don't have snow down there, do you?
I'm in Nashville right now. We don't have snow. We have rain, so it's just kind of yucky.
Oh, gotcha. So just the cold and the rain is a really bad combo.
Yeah, not the best combo, but
anything after going to Mexico for the sister's wedding, it's not gonna.
I know it all kind of goes downhill after that.
Your blood was like, "What's going on, man?"
Yeah.
Well, you've been a really busy girl since a couple years ago from Dancing with the Stars. That's like one of my dreams. You danced with Derek Huff. What's up with that? Like,
It was pretty awesome. It was definitely the highlight of my life.
And to be second only to Carlton, but nobody can beat Carlton, I don't think.
No, that was just impossible.
Well, you also had 2 movies come out, God's Not Dead and I'm Not Ashamed, and which is pretty awesome to have them come out both in this year and your Live Original tour, so it's been very busy for you.
Yeah, it was a busy year, and it was a very fun year, very exciting things, and this next year is going to be busy too, with Winter Jam starting, and a lot of other fun things that we have up our sleeves, so all good things.
Well, and I actually worked with the PR team on I'm Not Ashamed, so I was really excited to be part of that. My sister actually lived in that area when it happened. Her kids were in middle school. And so,
oh, wow.
At the time, all I heard was Littleton, Colorado, and school shooting on the news. And I ran in there because my first thought was my niece and nephews were in that school, but they were not in that particular school. They were still in middle school. And but one of my friend's daughter was shot in the library several times. She actually survived. But
wow.
And then I got to interview Beth Scott during the PR, stuff. We interviewed Beth Scott, and it was an emotional journey just because I had a personal connection with a friend's daughter being through it, and then to interview Beth, I have to ask, as a girl that was, around Rachel's age at the time you were filming this, how did that impact you?
Well, it's huge, because it kind of makes you think about your life and, like, what would you do, if that was, like, you at that moment. And then you start to think about all the times that, like, maybe you didn't stand up for your faith, or maybe you backed down because you thought someone was going to look at you funny. And then it's like, well, Rachel, did exactly what we're called to as Christian, and, like, give our life to Christ. And, like, life itself is, like, so much more meaningful when we live a life not for ourselves and for Him. And so a lot of people would look at that as a loss, but really that was life. That was a win. That was an amazing, like, story for Christ and for the kingdom, and now millions of people are touched by it. And Beth would say the same thing. We did a little interview thing together, and I think it's just an incredible story. It definitely touches you a lot, and it makes you, like, go into that place, but sometimes you need to go into that place to kind of check yourself and make sure that you would say yes, and you would say you believe in God right before it's all said and done. So it definitely hit me pretty hard and made me think about a lot of things.
Sometimes people look at Peter and think, well, I wouldn't have denied Christ 3 times. And I thought, you probably denied him 3 times today, I mean,
Yeah,
you think about, for her to have the courage. I mean, Peter was facing death to say yes or no, whether or not he, followed Christ. And for her to say it at that age, for her to stand up and say, yes, I'm not ashamed. I think that's already kind of becoming your life story too, because your family has never been ashamed of their faith. And it has given you that courage to be able to not be ashamed as well, no matter what the media says or naysayers. I mean, you still continue to stand for your faith. I love this Live Original tour that you got together with your squad and I think it's so important to have people your age talk to people your age. Sometimes you want to hear from peers, and even if you respect people that are your parents' age, there are certain things that you just need a peer's outlook on.
Right, exactly. That was like the point we wanted to get across. That I was like going to all these different like conferences and stuff as a kid, and they were amazing. But sometimes, you notice that you look up to these adults that are giving you all this wisdom, and you say, oh, okay, like, that's awesome. Like, whenever I'm your age, like, I hope that it all works out. Like, I hope I get to your point, or whenever I'm your age, I'll get it all together. But instead of waiting, why not doing it now? And so it's just an interesting thing for somebody going through it and, like, go through the exact same thing, going through the exact same struggles, like looking somebody in the eye and be like, look, you can do it, and like, let's do it together. And it's just like a whole accountability thing on a very larger scale. And so it's been really awesome.
Well, I have a daughter your age, and then I have a daughter that's 21, and then my son's 22. So, I definitely know what that age group does. And I think for my girls, that 17, 18, 19 years, that was a very difficult stage of, I may not be a full-grown adult running my own household, but I'm not a little kid anymore, kind of, how do I transition? You're just kind of figuring yourself out. I think it's a very, very tough age that you're at, and it's for you to even remotely be sure of your path is you don't know what an accomplishment it is. I don't even remember what I was doing when I was your age, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't on tour. I was actually very shy, funny enough. Some of my friends from school are like, you're what? You're on the radio? No, you're not. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I guess I was holding it in all those years, and now I don't stop talking. I'm from Texas,
funny.
though. The Southern girls like to talk, don't we?
Yes, we do. That's
so
hilarious.
So now on Winter Jam, I mean, people are probably going, oh my gosh, what are we going to get? With Sadie Robertson, is she going to talk about her family? What's she going to do? So what can they kind of expect from the tour with you being on Winter Jam?
I'm super excited about what I'm going to be doing at Winter Jam. I'm actually filming some stuff today for it, so that's kind of fun. But basically, I have a message that I'll be sharing at Live Original next year. So I'm hitting like some key points, and it's telling the story of David and Goliath in a very modern day way, and how God really does change the game in our life. So it's going to be super geared to my age, super geared to stuff that I've been through, super geared to stuff that I know a lot of others go through. So I'm not just going to go out there and talk about my family or talk about Duck Dynasty. I'm going to talk about, the message that I feel like God put on my heart. So I'm excited about that. And, speaking is my passion. Pouring into people my age is like my passion. And so I would hate to use the minutes that I have to talk about Duck Dynasty when they can watch it on TV on Wednesday night.
Well, yeah. And, it's funny. It's like as soon as their seasons are coming to a close, your ministry is just getting off the ground. So it's kind of cool that the new Duck Dynasty, the new Sadie Dynasty is on its way. So your Live Original tour, how was that? What was that reaction? Was it kind of what you hoped, or was it more than you thought?
It was incredible. It was more than I thought in so many ways, in different ways than I would have thought. A lot of times you get stuck on like numbers or the logistics of things, but then nothing beats whenever you're in a room, a theater, an arena, wherever we were, and people's hands are lifted up and praising God, and the comments at the end of the show, and the hearts being lifted, and the chains being broken. There's nothing that beats that. You know, that's something you can't predict because you don't know how Holy Spirit is going to like enter the room. You don't know how God's going to touch people's hearts. And so in that aspect, it was so much more than I imagined because, you know, you really can't put a limit to God, and God really showed us that during the tour, and it was just amazing.
So will you have your devotionals and things like that on sale at Winter Jam?
So, yes, we will.
Oh,
we
awesome.
have merch there, and 2 new merch shirts that we haven't had before, so that's exciting. But,
for people who don't know a lot about that, do you have one main website that they can go to check it all out?
Yeah, you can go to liveoriginal.com and check it all out, and then we also have a Live Original Instagram page, and most of our updates all go to that. So.
Yeah, I have a daughter your age, so if it's not on Snapchat or Instagram, it's Twitter. Facebook is the MySpace now for her. Like, she's like, whatever.
Yeah, you have to speak the language.
Yeah, and it's a different language for each kid, I've realized. Well, you're going to be here in Winter Jam January 8th in Grand Rapids and February 11th in Auburn Hills, Michigan. So we get 2 opportunities to see you, and we are so excited. People can go to jamtour.com for the dates and all the amazing artists are on this tour. Well, I'm so thankful for you taking time. I know it's busy and it's crazy, and I know you got more interviews to get to. So thank you so much for taking your time out, and thanks for, at your age, already giving your life and your heart and your mind and soul to Christ, because your age group is in such dire need, and younger kids that are already, you know, looking up to who you are and your family. And thanks for carrying on what your family's taught you, because as parents, we always hope you're listening and you're absorbing what we do. But I'm very proud that Willie and Corey have done the right job, and you have turned out to be such an amazing inspiration for my age too. I'm totally hooked on you too. I think you're an amazing person, and I'm so excited that I was so stoked when I saw you're going to be on this leg of Winter Jam, because I think you have been missing from Winter Jam someone your age with, you know, your influence and the things that you've done. I think you're going to have an incredible impact.
Well, thank you so much. That really means more to me than you know. I'm so excited about it, and I don't know. I'm just really grateful for all those words that you said to me. That was really kind. It was nice to talk to you.
It was nice to talk to you too, Sadie. You have a blessed day.
You too.